Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I am your host with the most, Reggie Saunders. Welcome back to another edition of ICIOUS, the show that's about everything soul. That's soul music, soul clothes, soul food, and most definitely soul attitude. Today we're going to flip the script a little bit. I thought I would get to know you a little bit better, and maybe you can get to know me a little bit better too. Today we're going to talk about things that we've been doing. Today we're going to also talk about things that we'll be doing in the very near future that we would, that I'll put it like this, that may interest you to be a part of. All right? So, and also in between, for hopefully your listening pleasure, I will do a couple of a cappella songs too. So let's get right into it. Today, I have, it's just going to be you and I. Friday, please tune in because my guest will be the incomparable Larry Woodley. And he has so many stories to tell from way back, even, I don't know, Muhammad Ali, Prince, yeah, so many people. And also, I'm sure he's going to entertain you with a few songs also. So today, what I'd like to focus on basically is this word soul. What does it really mean, and what does it really represent? You know, I can say in my life, soul represents feeling. It represents happiness. So I can find soul in anything, pretty much. Whether it's music, whether it's food, clothing, walking down the street, listening to people talk, just listening to somebody's heartbeat. For me, that's soul. That's real soul. So let's talk about soul. I have a thing over here of which I call PowerPoints of soul. And we're going to start with the first one, which is building bridges. And this is a thing that we talk about a lot, or you've heard about a lot, especially today with social media on whether it's TV, radio. You hear about people building bridges, how we can help one another, how we should help one another. But if you really look at it on a global platform, if you will, how often do we really implement this understanding of helping one another? Helping one another, of course, can be in so many facets. It doesn't have to be monetarily all the time. It can also be in just like, hey, checking on your neighbor, really sincerely wanting to help your neighbor, brother's keeper, all of these values that we were taught as kids, but actually we don't really act on them anymore. We just basically take it for, at face value, say, hey, a lot of people say, well, hey, I'm good, and that's enough for me. As far as other people, hey, you're on your own. But when it comes to people talking about it, or people, engaging in conversation about it, basically, it's like we're all angels. Oh yes, I love my neighbor, I love my sister, I love my brother, but actually, how much do you really act on it? And at the end of this whole conversation I'd like to have with you, and basically I'm having the same conversation with myself every day. The question at the end will be, are you really acting in the way that you're talking? As people would say, are you practicing what you're preaching? Are you really, things that you are, for example, if you are a parent, and you are giving these values, these beautiful, positive affirmations, if you will, to your children, are you really acting? Are you really being an example of what you're presenting to others? Or are you just going through the motions, I always reflect back to myself first. I start with myself every day, and then after I talk to people and seeing what their stories are and how they're living, I always reflect that back on myself and use that mirror, to see if I'm actually acting as, as I'm speaking, or am I just speaking words? Because as we all know, it is very, very easy to give good advice, but when it comes to following our own good advice, that's another story, right? So, these are things that we can really, really, how can I say, really focus on. And then coming back to the root of it all, which is soul. How can we find soul in building bridges? What is the relationship with building bridges and soul? Building bridges to me basically means, how can I say, building on the relationships that we've already developed, and building on and developing new relationships that we can build on. And this is where soul comes in. Soul is that feeling of wanting to actually not only make your life better, but also make other people's lives better, by going and just saying a kind word. That doesn't cost you anything. So many things that we take for granted, so many things that we just go through the motions we do. We don't know the impact of, the things that we do will have on someone else. Something simple by, hi, how are you doing today? Did you have a good morning? Hope you had a good morning. Hope you woke up really nice. And how was your evening? These things that basically we talk about, but do we really talk to each other about it? Or basically, are we talking past each other? A lot of times we can miss the actual meaning of what we're talking about because we're talking past it. You've heard of that, how can I say, the saying, you can't see the forest for the trees, because we're so deep in the forest that we really can't see basically the whole view. As if we were, for example, above the forest. Sometimes we need to get out of the forest, let me put it that way, and really see the whole view of things and see how, we're connected to it, see how, what our relationship is to it, and then we can better grow as an individual, And which basically brings me to the next thing, which is truth or true knowledge is true power. And as a child, I was taught this in a way, not only just from my mom, but from my dad, and also looking at other people in the sense of basically how they're interacting with one another, and how they are basically, delving in the sense of really understanding who they are, what they are about, what their relationship is to their surroundings. Another saying is that no one is an island. We are all together. We're all together. We're all in this, and especially in these days with the pandemic that we're in, we have that sense of togetherness. Unfortunately, I find that in life, that we find that it unfortunately sometimes takes a traumatic experience to bring us together, And I've always wondered, I said, does it always have to be that way? Does something horrific have to happen for us to realize how much we need each other? We should think about that. We should really consider that. Consider what our own worth, and also the worth that we are to everyone else too. It's not all about me. It's not all about you, but it is all about we. It's about us. It's about us. So please keep that in mind. I tell myself this every day, and everything that I'm discussing, everything that we're talking about, I would love for you to write in, and you can also say, in the sense of basically how you feel about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk today about that. Another thing that has come up basically is about what is real success. What does real success mean to you? For a lot of people, real success is having a house, having an apartment, having food on the table, or having money in the bank. For other people, success is how well they, their body is, basically, how healthy they are. If they can be healthy, they feel like, okay, I'm successful in that way. What is real success to you? This is a question that I like to put out, and just, we can elaborate on that. We can talk about that. For me, I have to say honestly, real success is, what is my relationship with myself? How am I treating myself? And how am I treating others that are around me? Am I actually, going back to what I said before, am I actually sending out positive affirmations? Am I exuding that mentality, or am I just going through the motions? Because going through the motions, I have this saying that I say, you can't fake the funk, which means you can't really fake a positive attitude. A lot of people try to, but if you have the right lenses, you can see through all of that. You can see through the phoniness, because people sometimes, they just want to be a part of something, so they feel like they have to put on a mask to be accepted, basically. But what I've learned is that if you're sincere in who you are, or if you're secure about your identity of who you are, people will, for the most part, accept you. And not only will they accept you, you will get the respect that will come along with that, and you will get also genuine people that are around you, people that actually are not phony, people that are actually interested in you, basically what you're saying, what you're doing, and they want to promote that. They want to be a part of that, So this is basically what I feel that soul is about. Soul is about uniting people, uniting not only people, uniting yourself with Mother Earth, uniting yourself in a spiritual sense, because I believe that, and I have not only believe, but it just makes sense that we are more than meet the eye. Than we are more to the eye than we're more. How can I say that? We are, as an individual, more than meets the eye, meaning that we are more than people see externally in us or about us. They think that they know us by basically how we look, or how we dress, or how we carry ourselves, But in actuality, we're much more than that. We're much more than that. Our root goes much deeper than just the surface of what people see. That's something else we can get into a little bit later, But basically, I really want to delve into this soul thing. And please write. Let me know what you feel about it, how soul is basically, how soul is implemented in your life, the aspects of soul. And speaking of that, as you know, like I said, the name of the show is ICIOUS, about things about everything soul. And I will now maybe reveal to you a little bit of what we're actually going to be doing in the future. So what we've done. Those of you that have tuned in to my shows know pretty much the format of the show, how it goes. Basically, the show is, I introduce the show, and then I introduce the guest, and then also we talk a bit about what this guest what their story is. Normally, hopefully, all of my guests will have really, really good stories that will keep your interest. Because we don't want you to fall asleep out there. We want you to be up and alert and excited, and interested in what the artist has to reveal or what the person has to reveal. So that's going to be in the realm of music. That's going to be in the realm of clothes, for example, dress, meaning, from Africa, from America, from, I don't know, from all over the world. And soul food. Soul food, we're going to be introducing that very soon. I'm going to have different cooks from different facets, if you will, from different sides of soul food. So that means I believe my next guest my first guest with soul food will be coming from Montserrat, if I'm saying that right, and Antigua also. And so you're going to actually, I want all of you people out there that love to cook to make sure that you tune in, because you're going to learn new recipes about food that you probably didn't even know existed. And being that it is virtual, I would love to have you all here, but being that it is virtual, I will be the only one eating the food. So I hope that one day when we can all get together in person, I would love to invite you, as my audience, to be a part of that and actually to really taste the food. So that's going to be a part too. And when it comes to music, some of the things that I'll be presenting, this will be actually 2 shows a week now, and one will be basically dedicated, if you will, to soul music, and that's going to be Friday from 2 to 3 every Friday. And then on Tuesdays, 2 to 3, we're going to open it up a little bit more. We're going to talk about soul music, but as I said, there are other aspects of soul that we'll also engage in, that we'll talk about, which is the clothes, which is the food, and everything will always be centered around soul attitude, how you carry yourself, how we, interact with one another in that respect, So, okay, so we've done 19 minutes. That's amazing. 19 minutes have gone by already. So please write in if you have any questions or anything. Also, this is an opportunity for you. I'm sending this out to people. If you feel that you have a story to tell and you feel that story is interesting, we're going to put up a way that you can contact me, and you can also be a guest on ICIOUS. So whether that's in whatever realm it's in, basically, but basically it's music. It could be movies. It could be write books. It could be clothes, or it could be, like I said, soul food or soul attitude. So if you feel that you have an interesting story to tell, please write in and let me know, and we'll contact you. We'll contact you. So I'm going to take this opportunity right now because I'd like to present another aspect, if you will, of soul. A lot of people, when it comes to music, basically, we think of, as, music is playing, people think of like, hey, you need a band to actually have music going on. No, you don't need a band. You have everything you need inside of you. I'm also, by the way, one of the many things I do, one of the things is that I'm a vocal coach also. So I always tell my students that you have everything you need inside of you. The band and all of those things are very important, but it does not take away from what you have inside of you. So always present yourself, and then those other things are things that are, how can I say, these are extra things that that bring out the best in you, all right? So right now I'm going to do a song from one of my favorite singers. His name is Mr. Bill Withers. And this song, excuse me for a second, have some water. Cheers. This song is a song that some of you, I'm sure, know, and it's a song that is very dear to my heart because it's about grandmother. It's about grandma, and you know how many of us have a beautiful grandmother that we love so much and that loves us so much and that would do pretty much anything for us, sometimes even more than our own mother. They are there for us. So I'm going to do this song called Grandma's Hands. All right? Here we go. Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday mornings. Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Oh, Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Reggie, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in that grass. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands soothe the local unwed mothers. My grandma's hands used to ache sometime and swell. Lord, grandma's hands used to lift her face and tell her, she say, baby grandma, understand that you really love that man, but put yourself in Jesus' hands. Grandma's hands. Ha. Grandma's hands used to hand me a piece of candy. My grandma's hands picked me up each time I fell. Yeah, grandma's hands, boy, they really came in handy. She say, why you wanna whip that boy? What you wanna spank him for? He ain't dropped no apple core, but I don't have grandma anymore. When I get to heaven, I'll look for grandma's hands. Yeah. Grandma's hands. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. So, speaking of grandma's hands, I think we all have that aspect in us of helping. You know, I want to talk about helping. A lot of people, I don't know why we are so shy from helping one another. A lot of people think, hey, if I give, then I'm losing something. I will have less if I give. And I would like to say, on the contrary, the more you give, the more you will have to give. The less you give, the less your, your well will quickly run dry if you think it's all mine and you want to keep it all to yourself. The way to grow, the best way to grow is in collaborating with one another. Once you can, if you have an idea that's beautiful, I have an idea that's beautiful, we put those ideas together, now we have even a more, an idea that actually is more of value, if you will, more worth, if you will, not only for me, but for you. So we're all going to grow. We're all going to grow with that. So, okay. So different things that we're going to do also for ICIOUS. Basically, I will be soon putting out a playlist. And someone wrote in the other day, this was their idea, which I forgot their name, but I appreciate the idea. A playlist basically of the focus artists. And as you know, every Friday, and also probably on Tuesdays too, I will have a focus artist. And this, what I will be offering is for you to basically present a song or to suggest a song. I will suggest a song, and you can actually say if you would like this song from the focus artist, that song from the focus artist, that song from the focus artist. And then that way, basically, you can participate more in the growth of Soul-icious. And this is really what it's all about, your participation. Because without your participation, we can't grow, all right? And hopefully, I'm giving you some nuggets to help you grow, too, in your day-to-day. All right, so playlist will be there of the focus artists that I will choose. And basically, every focus artist, I'm going to do this. We were going to do it monthly, but I thought maybe it's best to do it weekly to put out a playlist, and then that'll give you a week to hopefully you can bring it in. You can write in sooner to say, okay, yeah, I would like, for example, let's say it's Bill Withers, and I say, a toss-up between, I don't know, Lean on Me and Ain't No Sunshine. And you say, oh, yeah, we would choose Ain't No Sunshine. That's the song that we would like to hear, So we will, whoever votes on the song, whoever comes up with the most votes, that's the song that we'll do for that week. All right, that's the song that we'll focus on for that. Put in the playlist, if you will. Another thing that we'll be doing basically is that on Tuesday, like I said, from 2 to 3, I'm going to have a show. But also monthly, we're going to start a new thing for Soul-icious. A concert. So I will be presenting a monthly concert. The first concert will be on June 9th. So make sure that you're available on June 9th, and so that you can dance in the comforts of your own living room. June 9th, I'm going to have a live band, and we're going to hey, we're going to just partay. We're going to have a great, great time. And we're going to do it like this, basically. If you would like to be a part of that event that I just told you about, we're going to have like a program where you can actually write in and say, I would like to order this event. I would like to have this event or subscribe to this event every month. So you can become a member of this. So there'd be like a pay-per-view type of thing. And you can become a member. That way you can have full access to the show, to the conversation, to all of that. And it'll be it's an amazing opportunity to be a part of something that is in the how can I say, in the realm of growth, in the realm of actually growing. So so that's going to be a beautiful thing, and I'm excited about all of it, but I'm really excited about that part, especially inviting you in to be a part of it. And also what I'm going to do too, these are things we're talking about we're going to do in the future. I'm going to have like a one-on-one with my audience. So let's say there's going to be one of you, maybe two, maybe three of you, and we're going to have a conversation. So basically you can write in, you can be a part of that too, to have a conversation with the host, which happens to be me, and we can talk about aspects of soul, and we can delve into many aspects of soul, and basically the conversation that I'm having with the audience, we can have a personal one-on-one conversation. And I think that would be beautiful because I would love to get to know you. I want to know what you're about, what your life is about, how you are, handling this, if you want to call it pandemic, how you've handled it, how you're handling it now, and how you see in the future of how you're going to be handling this new situation. Because basically, I find that it is we're going to actually, how can I put it? It's going to become a new normal, if you will. the things that we once did, the leisure way that we did them, I think that's yesterday. And even if it comes back, it's not going to be the same like it used to be, you know? So we're going to have to learn to adapt. We're going to have to learn to create and recreate so that we can live a healthy, happy life. You know, I have many ideas, and I would like to hear your ideas. What are you feeling? What do you feel that, what ideas do you have that you're implementing in your life, and also the ideas that you feel that can help others grow, you know, in their way, you know, because like I said, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about we. It's about we. It's about us. All right? So basically, that's another idea. And really on this live show, I mean, hey, one of the ideas for me is, for example, okay, there was this movie called The Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's a cult favorite movie of a lot of people. And basically what people would do is that they would come to the movie theater. And I think it's still going on today. They would go to the movie theater, and they knew all of the characters in the movie. They knew not only the characters, but they could play the characters. They knew what they would say. They knew how they would express it, you know, in their way. So the idea that I have is that on the live show, you don't have to just listen and dance to the live music. You can also dress up in the how can I say, in whatever era that we'll be doing it. Mainly it'll be in the 60s and the 70s, the type of music that we'll be doing. So you can dress up, you know, you can dress up as if you were like going to a club in the 60s and the 70s. You can actually put on your Applejack hat. You can put on your wide collar shirt. You can put on your mini skirt or your dress. The men, you can put on your, what do they call them, platform shoes. We can do all of that, you know. Cool. So, yeah, all right. So, rapping. You want to rap? Okay, we can do that. We can do that too. So basically, yeah, let's do the rap again. I hope I understand what that means. But yeah, we're going to talk about things of, how can I say, to get into, oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. That's too much. Okay. So let's basically go to question and answer period. So let's see what you're talking about here. All right. Okay. Let's see what the guests are saying here, what they're writing in. Okay. Sam 474 says, nice. Thank you so much. All right. Sam 487, he says, not really. I don't know what he's talking about, but I hope he's okay. It's about we. All right. I guess he likes that. Appreciate that. Sir Hugo, he was here the last show, which I appreciated. Thank you very much for tuning in. He likes it. He likes it. He loves it. He loves the music and everything. And we have Dilo, if I'm saying that right. He says he's watching while scrubbing my curls. Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. As long as you're watching, you know. But don't just watch, contribute, all right? And I appreciate you contributing to it. Like I said, we basically want to expand. We're really just starting out. This is a new thing here. And we want to expand. We want to grow because, like I said, this is not just for me, but it's for the culture. And when I say the culture, I mean soul culture. And when I say soul culture, I mean everybody, you know. A lot of people, when they think of soul music, the root of it, basically, it comes from the black culture. So the root of soul, you know, you can think about, Geez, man, you can go back further than that, but you could talk about Wilson Pickett. You can talk about James Brown. You can talk about Aretha Franklin, and you can go back further than that, you know. But that's in music. When you talk about clothes, you can talk about the African artists that actually made the colorful clothes that you see people are wearing these days. I don't know if you tuned in on my first show, but I had on a dress, a shirt, if you will, I guess you would call it, and that's called daishiki, and the daishiki, if I'm not mistaken, it originated from Africa, and so there are many, you know, African clothing, you know, types of clothes that you can wear, that you can see from that, you know. So, and not only does it look good, but most of the African clothes are very comfortable to wear. You know, they breathe, you know. So, okay, another here. Will you make a Marvin Gaye episode? Well, Marvin Gaye happens to be one of my favorite artists, so why not? Absolutely. Marvin Gaye is, geez, my God, one of the first songs that I can remember from Marvin Gaye that I really loved. I loved many of his songs, but one of the first ones that I really, really loved and I really delved into the lyric, because I'm a lyricist, so I really get into the lyrics, is What's Going On. And if you really check out the lyrics of Marvin Gaye, he was a very, very deep thinker. And I think a lot of his, the way that he accompanied his lyrics with sounds, with music, you could feel everything that he was singing. You know, you felt like as if he was singing directly to you. Hopefully you feel like as I'm talking directly to you. So, and when you can feel something that you can personalize it, if you will, make it your own, that's something that you can grasp, that you can relate to even more. So Marvin Gaye is definitely one of my favorite artists. Speaking of another soul artist, is Aretha Franklin. She is so amazing, you know, in her delivery, not only delivery, but in the soul, in the way, you know, you can feel everything that she's saying, you know, just like she just goes straight to your heart. And whatever you're doing, you have to drop it if Aretha Franklin is singing. You know, so these are the type of artists, these are the type of people that I love to surround myself with, because in that way I grow. And this is basically what I'm delivering to you. You know, I'm giving you the opportunity also to find out different aspects of yourself. Go deeper inside of yourself to find the real you. You know, because I think a lot of times we live on the surface. You know, I call the majority of the world, I call us surface dwellers. We live on the surface and we confuse the surface for the root. You know, we think the surface is the root. And then we wonder why, when we try different things, we do different things, we are, we give our energy to different things. And then we wonder, why isn't this working like I want it to work? What is the understanding in that? Why is it? It's because you are only dealing on the surface. If we deal, let's put it like this, the closer we live to the root, the closer things will go right. And that's a fact. I'm a living witness of that, you know, because I've lived both, and I'm sure you have too. You know, when you live on the surface, sometimes things don't go right, things are chaotic, things are out of whack, out of focus, and what does that bring? That brings frustration, that brings you become disillusioned, you become deluded, if you will. You become like confused and not understanding why this thing is not happening. It's only because basically we're not living closer to the root. I always say, hey, the best way to do it, if something is not right, something is not going right, go back to the root. You know, you've heard that in different expressions, back to the root, back to the root. It is so true. Back to the root. Because, hey, this is where it all began. This is where it all started. Just like, for example, you go to the forest and you see a beautiful, big sequoia tree. You think, my God, wow, 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 wow. But no, this started from a little seed, you know? So we all have a beginning. So we need to, from time to time, refocus, re-engage with the root of who we are. And then by doing that, we will develop as a beautiful human being. Beautiful human being. So, okay. Woo! Almost 20 minutes left. My God, wow. I've been talking a long time. Hope you've been listening. So let's see some other things here. For Soul-icious, it's been suggested, and I am going to suggest basically a video of the focus artist. So video of the week, let's say. So for example, I don't know, since we just talked about him, Marvin Gaye, okay? So Marvin Gaye, I'll have him as a focus artist, and then at the end of the show, or towards the end of the show, I will give a suggestion of a video that has really inspired me, that, you know, and videos that inspired me, I can see them multiple times. So it's not like I lose anything, oh yeah, I've already seen it. No, videos that I see of artists that I love, every time I see it, I get goose pimples. I just, whoo, it's like somebody opened the window and it's a cool breeze that's coming in. You know, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I will be suggesting a video that you can watch at home of the artist. And then the beautiful thing about that, once you watch this, what I would love for you to do, in every aspect of what I'm doing, I would love for you to give me feedback, because only in that way can I grow. All right? So, and so I really, how can I say, I value you as a person, and I value your input. As have said to different people, starting in my family, I've always said 3 things that I do that has helped me progress positive, in a positive aspect, a positive way in my life. I listen, I understand, then I follow through, okay? So let me break that down. Listening basically is, how can I say, I think that's the best attribute that a human being can have, is to be able to listen. Because if you listen, you know, my mom, as she told me when I was a kid, she says, son, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You know, that means you listen more than you talk. Because if you listen, and you listen properly, and you really focus on what the person is saying, then when you open your mouth, you will have something intelligent to say. You won't just blah, 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 blah. You'll have something intelligent to say. So listen is so important. Listening is so important. As I wrote, for some of you that don't know, I'm in the process of writing my first book. And to be able to listen, I had to do a lot of listening and a lot of research, of which I was very, very happy to do, and I'm still doing it, by the way, to get to the point of where I am in the book. Hopefully my book will come out in September, and you can all be a part of that too. I'll give you details on that later. The listening aspect of it, I always say this, hey, all of the great leaders of the world, in my humble opinion, were once great listeners, or were first great listeners. They had to become great listeners first before they became great leaders. You can't put the cart or the wagon before the horse. You have to let the horse guide the wagon. So this is what I've learned. So let's go here. Let's see. Okay. More things here. Let's see what the virtual audience is saying here. Here we go. Yeah, we will. We love soul music. Can you recommend us some new or not so new popular artists that we have not known? Well, got to go deep in the grab bag for this one here. Let's see. I don't know what you know, but I'm just going to suggest some. And if you know the artists, skip to the ones that you don't know. Old artists. Let's see. When it comes to blues, for example, because I find soul in blues too, I would recommend B.B. King, for example. B.B. King was one of these types of artists also that made you believe that he was talking directly or singing directly to you, though maybe you were one among thousands in the audience, but you felt that he was singing directly to you. And B.B. King was an artist, in my opinion, that was a very good storyteller when he was singing. He could sing in a sense that, it was almost like he was writing a message or a story to you as he was singing. And you could say, yeah, I feel that. Yeah. I've been in that situation before, or I know somebody that's been in that situation. Man, that brother's telling the truth. Wow. And this and that, So B.B. King would be one of the older, artists that I would recommend. And artists of today, before I get to an artist of today, I would also recommend work from Sting. Sting is one of those artists that I feel that it's like he delves, of course, pop, rock, this and that, but he is a very soulful individual. And you can see that from some of the collaborations that he's had. He's collaborated with Stevie Wonder. He's collaborated with Bruno Mars, so on and so forth. That's one artist that I would recommend. Another artist would be her voice, the way she delivers or delivered, she's not with us anymore, is Amy Winehouse. She was like, my God, you're talking about people that seems like they're here before their time. You've heard that saying before, like a child prodigy. We call those type of people old souls, that were actually here. The way that they deliver, you say, my God, you're how old? And you're singing like that? And you're talking about things of that nature, and you're singing it as if you have lived it. But you couldn't have lived it because you're only 15 years old. How can you do that? So we call that an old soul. So I would recommend those artists. Now, artists of today, I mentioned one already, Bruno Mars. I think he's one of those type of artists that, he's been basically working, he's been an old soul, ever since he was born. I mean, he used to do like Elvis Presley he was impersonating Elvis Presley and stuff like that. So his parents kind of guided him in that direction, of soul music, of how can I say, of how to present it, and you can even see it in his delivery, how he delivers. And with somebody like that, though I've never met Bruno Mars, I'd like to one day, you can kind of tell that he's done his research when it comes to soul music, to how they interpreted it back in the 60s, back in, you could even say maybe the 50s, definitely the 70s, soul music. So you can really see that in how he delivers his soul music. Other artists, for example, groups, when it came to, for example, when it comes to, Earth, Wind, and Fire. These are, there was a group of beautiful musicians that came together that formed something that people had never seen that on stage before. And their music was just so inviting. What is it? Boogie Wonderland, all the way to Fantasy, for example, and so on and so forth. Let's see, another group would be, I know I'm going back and forth when, with like a time machine, but the Temptations, a lot of today's groups, for example, I was talking to this to a new friend of mine, of whom I'm going to have as a guest very soon. We were just talking about this before I came to the studio today, that there are a lot of people that today that present soul music, but I don't know if they forget, or maybe they are so, I hate to use this word, selfish, but they're so into me that they forget the root of what they're doing, where that came from. Basically, they forget to acknowledge the artists from whom from whom their work is, how can I say, exuding, coming from, And to me, I feel, for example, if I'm doing a cover song, it's, how can I say, it's so important. It's of the most importance for me to acknowledge the artist from which the music is coming from, the originator of the artist. And when you can do that, and when you do that, I should say, people, they appreciate that. And then once they understand, oh, okay, he's doing a song from Marvin Gaye, or he's doing a song from, I don't know, Bill Withers, or whomever, then they say, okay, great. Now we have a foundation. We have an understanding from which he's coming from, okay? And then you can say, all right, now that I've understood the original, where the original base is from, now I can focus in on you, on how you are delivering it, how you are coming about, what's your take, what is your spin, if you will, on it. So like I was telling my friend here, I was saying that, hey, whenever I do a cover song, I always do it as if I wrote it, but still in the most humble way, appreciating and putting light on the artists that originated the song, that said the song. So yeah, these are different, different artists of today. If you have artists that you like, soul artists, basically, that we're talking about, it could be soul, as far as like soul music that we're talking about. It could be soul R&B. Soon I'm going to also be having, I'm going to dive into, or at least I should say open up the area of DJs. So we're going to have like DJs that have played soul music. Maybe some of the DJs that around in Switzerland that have played soul music, soul R&B, soul hip hop, and in that way. So I'm going to have some DJ guests on very soon also. And so like I said before, if you feel that you have a story to tell and you feel that your story is interesting, I'm gonna soon you'll see where you can write in, and we're gonna put that in. And I would love to have you as a guest, and you can be sitting in the chair beside me, and we could have a lovely conversation, and we can share things with the audience that will help our viewers grow and keep their attention, and would just love to make you a part of my family, So I think I can do one more song. Yes. Okay, so this song is a very favorite song of mine. It's one of my favorites, I should say. And this is another song from Bill Withers. All right, so music-wise and everything, all right, you have the band in your mind and in your heart. So you're going to groove with me with that, okay? So here we go. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be a friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride if I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show. Now check it. You got to call on me, brother, when you need a hand. See, we all need somebody to lean on. Well, I just might have a problem that you'll understand. See, we all need somebody to lean on. Well, lean on me, yeah, when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for, well, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Now check it. You got to call on me, sister, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. So we all need somebody to lean on. We all need somebody to lean on. Thank you very much for joining in. This has been another edition of ICIOUS, the show that's about everything soul. Tune in Friday when my guest will be the incomparable Mr. Larry Woodley. Until then, I am your host with the most, Reggie Saunders. Have a blessed day and a beautiful life. See you then. Peace out. Yeah.